Wait, but what do you do on a sex swing?
Oh, you put it on the door. Well, they have different kind. We have a door sex swing. So you tie it to the door and then you get in it. And then you can be like in all these different positions.
Oh, while you're swinging back and forth?
Nah, but like
you don't have to hold.
You don't have to hold anything.
You don't have to hold it.
So like you're just like sitting kind of like propped up, perched up. And the man can just take you and do things to you.
Oh, so it's an individual thing.
Yeah, for the woman to get in usually. And then the man
can do what he wants.
Or the other woman.
Oh, does it have levels?
For all
like,
people.
Does it have height levels? You can like adjust
Yeah,
it. High and low.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah.
High level, she said.
No, sometimes you gotta be propped up. Sometimes you gotta be low down.
Happy New Year, Mama's Den friends. Welcome back.
Welcome
back. Welcome back. And cut. Because ain't nobody paying no licensing fees. Okay. That is your music education's little spot 101. It's your girl, Melanie Fiona. I'm so happy to be back introducing this new year and new episodes of the Mama's Den. I was MIA for the last few episodes at the end of last year, which really made me sad. I miss my friends. I was perpetually sick, unfortunately. And now we're better. So it's so good to be back with all of you listening and my friends in the den today. Hi, guys.
Hey, girl. What's up?
Why y'all acting like you never did a podcast before
I thought
now?
she was going to say, what's up? It's Felicia.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing that?
Girl, we forgot how to do the intro.
You forgot.
She forgot,
That was back in
guys.
2022. We're in
Thank you.
2023
Thank
now.
you, Fee.
Anything that happened in 2022, I do not remember.
Thank you. Words of Ashley.
Words of Ashley.
We don't talk about last year. We don't talk about last year. No.
But we should. Oh, yeah.
Damn it. Don't come
That's
for
all
us.
we got. We said last year.
Don't
We
come
need to
for us.
say
Don't come for us.
the
Don't
B
come for
word.
What's everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Crystal, you gotta cut that out. Hey, y'all, it's
she's
me,
not cutting
Felicia.
it out. You know she's not cutting it out, so just keep going, girl.
I think Cody got this heater on, y'all.
She did.
It is off, friends.
Child.
I'm sweating.
You all won this
My
round.
armpits is sweating.
Me too.
My armpits are sweating.
It's about to
I'm
move
wearing black,
down.
though, so it's okay.
It's about to move
You're
down.
probably all
To my
premenopausal.
boot crack.
Ooh, girl, to my vagina.
Not the sweaty.
Because
What did I miss?
I got lasered. When you know what, hair, God did it for a reason. Helps you.
It's true.
There's no hair
true.
there, so I sweat more there now.
There's no hair at all.
No, I got it all lasered off.
Wow.
Me too.
Clean as
I
a
love
whistle.
But I feel like that wasn't your
Yeah,
jam
but it
before.
serves a lot
It
of
wasn't,
purposes.
and
We've
I
been
just
doing
kept.
this landing patch. What's the landing patch?
I did have a landing patch.
We
and
did talk about
I
this.
did, and then
You
the sheet,
lasered down to a landing patch?
I don't even have that anymore.
No, but you initially, that's
Yeah.
what you did. And then you had the rest removed.
Yeah, she was like, let's just do the rest. I was like, all right, shit, why not?
Yeah, get that.
I mean, I had the same
vagina.
vagina for what, 30-something years? Why not have a new one for the next 30?
You know what?
Okay,
Perspective.
as we're talking
Okay.
about your 30
I'm gonna go
years,
landing
let's get
stripping.
into it. Felicia, who are you again? Mama. Yas.
Wait, what?
Did she do hers?
You intro yourself. How many kids you got?
Okay, hi, you guys. It's me, Felicia. I have 2 kids, Pistons in, 8 and 4, and Happy New Year.
Woo woo. Ashley.
Hi, it's Ashley. I have 4 daughters. They're 13, 6, 4, and 1.
Woo.
Yeah, I missed you guys. I'm glad to be back.
Wait, 13, 6, 4, and 1?
I know.
Yikes.
I know, right?
One of them's about to be 5, actually. It actually is about to be 14, 6, 5, and 1.
You are some
Yeah.
I tell y'all, I would forget. I would just,
I'm something
I would
different.
just be just like, let me know when I gotta stop paying for you. That's how old you are. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
I just, with the grace of God. The grace
You
of
are
God.
4 years away from having an 18-year-old.
I don't. I
sorry.
will literally cry.
Oh my
Stop.
gosh.
Stop.
It's hard. The first one's gonna be hard.
I'm about to cry. Stop.
Uh-oh. Capricorn in her
She's
feelings.
fanning herself.
Capricorn in her feelings. Are we rolling?
I think about
we
this
rolling?
all the time.
Oh, she's crying.
She's literally
We did
wiping
it.
her
We
tears.
brought Ashley to tears in 2023. The Capricorn has emotions,
We're
ladies and
starting
gentlemen.
this year off
She
good.
definitely has
good
emotion.
birthdays.
Stop. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, she's really crying.
We're going to have to take a break, get some
Take a break.
tissues. Get yourself together.
Coming up after the break.
She gotta get her Capricorn thug on.
Oh my
again.
God. Stop.
Everybody with a 14-year-old out there,
Oh, God.
take a
Cry with
moment.
Ashley.
Take a moment, pour one out for your homie.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You guys, when they get older and they're really grown, and then it's just 4 years from now, she's really about to be an adult. That makes me so
crazy.
sad.
What is she going to be?
Fuck you.
Not coming for the Ohio accent though.
Well, that's why I called your ass a princess. This jerk.
What is she gonna be?
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Okay. While Ashley's in her
Laugh
feelings,
now,
wait.
you heifers.
Yes,
Don't come
yes.
calling me in 10 years.
So I'm going to do my little intro, and then we're going to jump into some questions from our friends out there. Okay, this is Cody, by the way. I've got 3 children, Brooks, Aristotle, and Langston. Brooks is a 6-year-old, and the twins are 4. But we're having some questions today, and one of them is for the lady who's crying.
Get the Capricorn in her feelings.
The first question
That was my Pisces.
is from Leslie from Detroit.
Oh, it's for me, for real?
Yeah, literally
shoot.
for you.
All
So
right,
literally.
Leslie.
Cold in the
Like
deep.
this friend.
Never mind.
My friend is over there crying, y'all.
It reads, Ashley,
Oh,
you
shit.
were pretty
Malala.
down. Are you okay? Let's wait. She's fixing her eyeliner.
Her eyeliner is really running.
Which really has to be fixed in order for us to do audio.
You know what? Let me stop singing. I keep singing all these songs.
I was about to say, keep running and running.
Okay, go ahead. I can do 2 things at once.
Okay. Ashley,
Oh, shit.
Leslie from Detroit says, Ashley, you were pretty down about your birthday at the end of the year. And I relate. My birthday's around Memorial Day and people are always busy. Were you able to enjoy yourself?
Oh my God, was I?
Was she?
So Cody Lynn put together.
Cody Lynn.
I just like to call
she
it. I feel
likes
like
to
that should
call
be
me
her middle
that.
name.
That's actually really
I mean, it
nice.
shouldn't
Isn't it
be
cute?
my name, but I don't mind.
Yeah, Cody Lynn. Doesn't that sound
That's
like
cute.
that's really her name?
I thought it was, girl.
Cody Elaine.
I know, but it could be Cody Lynn.
I like that better.
I do
But
like
I
Cody Lane
understand
better.
that
Cody
we-
Lynn.
I don't know, she
At least what about Cody Lane? Because
No,
the
I
E
like
and
to
the
make
E.
up middle
from
names,
Texas,
so I
Cody Lynn.
understand.
Cody
it. I do.
Lynn.
Cody Lynn from Texas. I like to ride.
take it.
I rode the plane. Rode the plane.
Y'all are doing a lot today.
Oh my nail. Oh my God. Oh God. Okay. What are we talking about? My birthday. Cody Lynn threw me a birthday party dinner. I wanted to have a chill birthday dinner. I want everybody to wear sweats or leggings. No fuss. It was so sweet. We came, we drank, we drunk, we threw up.
Not all of us.
Let's not say we.
Not a we
Let's not
thing.
make it plural.
It's a
I'm
you
speaking
thing.
French now.
I threw up. No, it was, I felt so loved and just had a really great time. And it was a really good birthday for me. Like one of my favorites since being here. I feel really blessed, you guys. I love all of you so much. You just make me so happy. And I appreciate your friendship. And I was happy. I went to throughout the year like good.
I was really worried the throwing up was going to turn that happiness around. I'm glad it didn't.
No, it actually made me happier. It was fun because like I don't really, let
Do that,
go.
yep.
No, ever. And then just because it was like I didn't drink too much. It just was a fluke, a mixture of potions. But it was kind of funny how it happened, and then it didn't run at all. Like I had the weekend at the hotel, so
yeah.
I stayed there for 2 days or almost 3 days.
Who got
Recovery.
you,
You had
who
time to
got you a
recover.
hotel?
My husband,
Let's shout out the love.
Brian Chia. He got me a hotel and it was so nice. Shout out to I was at the Shea in
Yep.
Culver City. The
Yep.
customer service is amazing. The people there were really, really nice. They
it's
wanted us to
very
come back
cute.
for Mama's Day. And they said they were gonna probably like do something for
Oh
us.
yeah,
Oh, we
let's
like
go.
that. 'Cause
Yes.
that food was bomb.
Yes.
Tommy
no,
literally
like a little
goes there,
girls'
like,
night.
once a
We can
month.
get like a free situation.
We like that.
Yeah,
and
and
we
we
like
like that
that. Your sweet was.
We like
That
that
was
sweet.
really nice.
was trying
Yes,
to
he
little
got
Mama's
me.
Den retreat.
Yes, he
Yeah.
got
At
me
the
the.
Shea?
It wasn't the presidential suite. It was the other suite. I don't remember, but it was a really nice suite.
What about Mama's Day at the Shea?
Ooh.
I like it. I like it.
Yes, we need
like
to do that.
We
But
can
it was
come.
nice.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
good.
noise.
It was
Well, I'm glad
noise.
you
It was
had a
noise.
wonderful time.
And I'll say this, Ash, as your friend, this is Melanie. I feel like, first of all, last year you just had Tata, so you just
Girl.
had a baby. We both just had babies.
Yeah, we did.
And I felt like you just had this like very low expectation for like, no one's ever around. I wasn't even supposed to be in town. And
Yeah.
then weather canceled our original trip to leave town. So when I could be there
so
to celebrate
happy.
your birthday, I was so happy too. Just
was
because
too.
I was like, yay, it all worked out. Because I really did. I wanted you to feel like, as your friend, we all did, wanted you to feel like, just because the holidays happen doesn't mean like
Yeah.
there's no space to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
And I get it because my birthday is the 4th of July and like most people don't get it. They're not around.
Yeah.
But I know the holidays are really tough. So
They are.
I'm so glad. And we had a
You guys
blast.
did.
I was
I
second
love
that.
my gift from V. It was a great gift.
Good.
It
I'm
helped
glad you
me
like
the
it.
next morning. And yeah, just a little-
Used it immediately.
why not?
Yeah, just-
And then I
you
used to get
recovered.
when
I'm
Chia
proud
came
of
to
you.
visit me. No. No, I have fun. And you know what?
I'm not going to shout that gift out. See if you get a free one. No.
No.
I don't know. What's the brand name?
I don't know. I got to go back to it. It was a nice little vibrator. But listen, I did realize this. So every time I get a hotel in the same state, like when Chia gets me like Mother's Day hotels, we always do this thing where the kids and Chia will come visit me at the hotel, right? And then we'll have like lunch together or dinner together. I decided going into 2023, I'm not doing that no more.
Ooh, I love this for you.
I'm going to stay away the whole time. I see y'all when I get home.
And maybe call a girlfriend over. We can like come and have a
Yes.
drink and have like a moment.
I tried to con her in to visit me, but she had things to do.
But I did visit you.
You did. Wait. You dropped some stuff off. Oh, Cody did take care of me because she sent me a whole bunch of stuff to recover, and it was amazing. Like I woke up and somebody was knocking on my door, and they had like a whole bag of like food and drinks to help me with my little hangover, and it was really the sweetest thing in the world.
I love this.
But yeah, but for now on, only my homegirls can come visit, not my kids.
I think that's
They
a
gotta
great
stay at
idea.
home.
I'm here for it.
I'm into
here for it.
this new version of you.
Thank you. I told you it was 2023.
Are we all ready for some more questions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is from Mama on the brink of burnout in New York.
Oh no.
Oh, girl.
Hey, mamas. Long-time listener, first-time caller. She's cute.
I love this.
This
Like a radio
question
show.
is for Melanie. I've always been curious about how Black history is handled in Canada. What key Black Canadians did y'all learn about? Is Harriet Tubman in the storybooks? What types of, this is very specific, what types of conversations on identity will you have with your children? Do you consider them Canadian American or Guyanese? Or is it not something that has really come up yet?
That's a good question.
That is a
Well,
good question.
this is this is deep.
Yeah, very deep.
Wow. I'm flattered to see that you're this interested in my upbringing.
Shit, I'm interested now.
Yeah, this
Let's
is
go.
this is crazy. I don't think I've ever been asked this question. You know, growing up in Canada, it was very different. I will be the first to tell you, Black history was not taught in school. It was not. So very interesting to be able to publicly identify that, like to name it. Like, no, it wasn't taught in school. We didn't have that.
Well, do they do Canadian history and then it's just include
Yes,
Black history
but,
or no?
you learn about people like Terry Fox, who was a cancer survivor who walked across. He had an amputated leg. He walked across Canada to raise money for cancer awareness. Like, there's people like this. Wayne Gretzky, a huge superstar.
Learned about Wayne Gretzky in school?
Wayne Gretzky is a Canadian national treasure. He's the great one, hockey
yeah,
player.
yeah.
Right? So, like, there are people. Ben Johnson was the like superstar sprinter of the Olympics. Like, he was our Canadian guy. He was also Jamaican. Anyways, I will say this. So my children, because I am first generation Canadian, my parents, my brother, my cousins, all my uncles and aunts, they were all born in Guyana, which is in South America. So I come from a family of immigrants. All of my friends growing up, all of their parents were immigrants. So Canada's history and culture is very new for being first generation Canadian. And I would say that our culture being Guyanese was kind of really understood up there. So if I said I was Guyanese to another Caribbean person or an African person or a Latinx person or Hispanic, whatever, they knew exactly what it was. When I came to America, I had to usually explain what that was, where that was, what that meant. I feel like when people looked at me in Canada, they just understood, they knew who I was and they understood what that is. So now that I live here, I would say that my son definitely, he is half Canadian, like legally. We do have his citizenship for being Canadian. I will do the same for my daughter. I'm still a full Canadian citizen. And they understand, or my son understands, that my parents' culture is not Canadian, it's Caribbean. So he actually thinks that he says, "Oh, I'm half Canadian," which is funny because I'm a firstborn Canadian, so technically he is.
Yeah.
But as far as me, I grew up saying I'm Guyanese, even though I wasn't born in Guyana. So I think that in Canada, that's like a bigger difference of how you identify. You identify like who your parents are, not like necessarily where you were born.
Yeah.
Because
Do Guyanese people consider themselves Hispanic?
no, Guyanese people are Caribbean people.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's interesting because
Okay.
Guyana it's one of the only non-Spanish speaking countries in South America because it was colonized.
Got it.
Let's
Okay.
use the proper terminology, by the British.
Okay.
And so it used to be the Republic of Guyana, and then it broke down into British Guyana, which is where my family's from. There's French Guyana, which was colonized by the French, and then Suriname, which was colonized by the Dutch. But Guyana borders Venezuela and Brazil.
Yeah.
So our diversity in Guyana is very deep because we were colonized by the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Chinese, African, and East Indian. So, and then of course there's the native indigenous people of South America.
Yeah.
So our culture is very mixed as a people. So it's very interesting when I have to explain, like, people look at me and they think one thing, or they don't. And then I've said this before, like, people look at my son and sometimes they don't know what he is. You know, if they see him with his dad, they're like, oh, he's black. If they see them with me, they're like, is he Spanish? Is he Indian? Like, what, you know, some people look at me. It's funny, in America, I feel like people look at me and only see a black woman. But when I go home to Toronto, people are like, oh no, she's half Indian. Or she's an Indian woman.
I think people look at you and think you're Indian in America. I just think they don't know to say that, maybe. They can't put their finger on it.
Do you know that Jared said to me, he was like, he's like, I didn't know that you were like Indian. And I was like, yeah, my dad.
You look Indian to
man.
me, girl.
Me too.
But if you've been exposed to people who look Indian,
that's why,
then you'll know. But
where did he grow up, Jared?
In New York.
That's weird. There's a lot of Indian people there.
No. But Jared thought that I was just like a black Caribbean girl. He really did. He always lies.
That makes sense.
He always tells me, like, you tricked me. That's what he says. And I was like, I didn't trick you. But it is very common for people to not know. So
okay, that's fair.
Listener, I'm not sure what her name was.
Mama on the Brink of Burnout.
Oh,
in New
Mama
York.
on the Brink of Burnout, honey. How could I forget you?
That's her name.
Mama on the Brink of Burnout. I hope I answered your question.
She said it as well as named herself that.
I hope I answered your question, and I hope that you don't burn out. But yeah, that's a little bit about how I grew up, and then now living in America, it is a different experience, and I feel like I'm more acclimated to what is become American history versus Canadian history, just because it's been so many years since I've been there, and then now my kids are growing up in American history. But you know, the way I'm trying to set up my life is going to be world history. And
okay,
just
girl.
Be living abroad.
That's right.
Yeah. Thanks for your question.
All right, y'all. Jasmine, New Orleans, Louisiana. Hey, y'all. I'm not a mom yet, but currently a very hands-on, supportive aunt. And I'm here for y'all to bring the mamas and grandmamas on for an episode or two. Bring the mamas, grandma. I have a couple of questions for everyone first. What is something you now know or realized later that you wish you would have known when you were younger or a new mom? And second, what is the best and biggest life-changing advice you'd like to share about being a mom? And the best advice someone gave you. Okay, I'm going to break that down. Question 1. What is something that you now know or realized later in life that you wish you'd known when you were a new mom?
You go.
Wait, what?
I'm Cody.
I'm trying to still understand.
Cody Lynn, you answer first.
Something that, I mean, it goes back to like an episode that we did actually. I think this is the first thing that came to my mind about like, what do I now know? There were things that I romanticized about motherhood that like I now know are just not that fun. Like putting them to bed. It has its moments, don't get me wrong. Like in my mind, it's still this fantasy out there that's just so sweet. And every once in a while we get that. Every once in a while, but not often.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that came to my mind is just like the lack of cuteness that some of these moments have. You know? But the good outweighs the bad.
Sure it does.
Yeah.
I could go next. Ashley here. What I now know is the time goes by really quickly and then you're crying about your 14-year-old. So I would say that a lot of the things, I think I'm a better mom now because a lot of the things that I used to get hung up on when Amir was little, I don't trip about with any of my other kids. I wish I could go back in time and just enjoy her a little bit more because this just goes by so fast, y'all. I'm dead serious. And you're looking at your teenager like, you know what I mean? Like, dang. So, I mean, most of the stuff that we get upset about, life just goes by really quickly.
Yeah.
Try to relax more as a parent.
I agree with that. This is Felicia. I feel like the things that I would trip off of and the pressures that I would put on myself as a first-time mom.
Yeah.
And now that I have my second child is like, it doesn't even matter.
No.
You know, I'm like, it doesn't even, I'm like, baby number 2 makes you just, at least for me, makes me flow a little more.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll probably stop tripping off stupid shit.
Yeah. Same.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm like, that's it. Even now, shit.
The second kid, I just am so much more, I think, relaxed about it. But if I had to impart something that was different, I would say that there is no one set script of how it goes.
That's good.
agree
Which
with
is
that.
like, I think was my biggest revelation, even through pregnancy, labor, and motherhood, that, you know, whatever you've seen, whatever you thought you knew about motherhood, whatever you thought you knew about pregnancy and labor and how it's supposed to be and go, like, it's just not the same one size fits all experience. So anytime you find yourself as a mom or as a parent where you're like, well, how come so-and-so's family, how come I never saw anybody else go through that, baby? Because it's not their story. Like, your story is going to be different from everybody's story out there. So I think that to me, if I'd have known that going into it, I might have been less shocked by the and affected by the disappointment of like expectation and comparison.
Wait, I have one more part that I would like to add. This is Felicia again. I feel like we're getting really good at this, like, name yourself.
Me too. 2023.
I'm like,
I'll say that.
It's a new year.
I feel like one of the biggest things was, if I decided to accept help as a mother, that doesn't mean that I'm weak.
Yes,
or that
girl.
doesn't mean that like, you know, just less than, or I don't know what I'm doing, or because
Or
now with baby
privileged or lazy or
Yes.
any of that.
yeah, because baby number 2, I'm like, help.
Help.
Like, and I accept it, but I'm like, damn, had I been more open to receiving the help and not this silly idea of like, oh, I'm weak or less than, or somebody's gonna judge. Like, now I'm like, please pull up, please,
Yeah.
anybody and everybody.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing within a lot of moms.
I would just like to say that I really think that raising children it should not be like, you know, they always say it takes a village. Like, I really do believe that.
Oh, absolutely.
1,000%.
Like, that didn't
I
just come
agree.
from like, you know, the sky. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
a real practice.
just a saying,
We
no.
grew up in villages. We had help. Your sister, auntie, cousin, friend was there helping you raise, nurse your children. Like, these were real things. So I feel like this way that we've been conditioned to live, as far as
It's not natural.
working and isolating and growing up, you know, thinking you got to do everything yourself. Like,
Agree. That's why everybody burnt out and stressed out.
AKA
Yeah.
mama on the brink.
Besides the
of a
mama's den. I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, we figured it out too, y'all.
All right. This is from Jay. Hi, mamas. Love the podcast, and I don't even have children yet, but the advice is still relevant to those of us with nieces and nephews. However, dun dun dun. There was an episode where you all discussed love, and Melanie shared her marriage story about how she and her husband split prior to marriage. My ex-boyfriend and I are currently in a very similar situation where I did the work and was ready, but he told me that through my love, he recognized he needed to do the work on himself before he could love me properly. Ironically, we watched the Black Love episode together with Melanie and her husband right before we fully parted ways, and he said he wished he knew how the process was for her husband. I know every situation is different and we may not have the same ending, but my question for Melanie is, how did you know that your now husband truly did the work? Did you cut all contact with him during that time? Also, was he the dumper in the situation? Any tips from the mamas on how to bounce back from a breakup? Ooh, these ladies be having questions.
I know.
Welcome to the Mama's Den
also-
relationship column.
I like
love it.
how there are like a lot of listeners that don't have children.
Yes.
That's so dope.
There are a lot.
Yeah.
There are a lot. Okay, so
So how did you know that Jared truly did the work? Is the first question.
Not that face.
okay, so here's the thing. You don't ever really know. Like, you don't know, because I think people, when they're desperate or when they want something bad enough, they will put their best foot forward every time. I literally went off of intuition. I literally went off of, am I willing to risk getting hurt? Am I willing to risk this not working out again for this person to see what it could be? And I was. And at that time, I remember feeling like, I used to clown with Jared. A bunch of me and my friends would used to say like, no U-turns, no U-turns. And Jared would always laugh with us about that, because I'd be like, when you break up with somebody, there's usually a very good reason. And chances are that reason still exists when you try to make it work just because you miss them. But I did absolutely cut off all ties from him. I told him that, and I did it with love. And I've shared this before, that was the first time I had ever done that in a relationship, because I didn't want to be the influence or the reason every day planting seeds, hoping that the one conversation we had that went well led to him coming to some realization. And I can say that Jared has also shared his experience of what it was like on the other side. And he will tell you straight up that it sucked. Like he, you know, at first it was like, all right, I'm going to do what I got to do. You know, he was dating other people, exploring options for himself, trying to be, keep himself busy and do what it was. But he realized, and he said this, that life with me felt better and it made him better. And so, I didn't leave much room for him to reach out. Whenever he reached out once, and I told him, like, why are you calling? And I was like, if we ain't talking about, something real, we don't need to talk about the weather. Like, I'm doing fine. You're doing fine. I also unfollowed him from all socials. I think that that's a big mistake that we do when we break up with someone, to kind of follow up to that. How do you bounce back? I think that like stop communication is really important unless you have children, businesses, something that warrants you to have a constant line of communication. I think that separation is really important for healing and for clarity. Because you'll really be able to get quiet within yourself and ask yourself, do you miss the idea of this person, or does this person now have they left a void within you that you don't feel as complete because that's how you saw your future with this person, and does that person make you better? And I said this the other day on my stories, like, just because someone does nice things for you doesn't mean they're right for you, So Jared and I had a lot of fun together. And I felt like deep down inside, he could be right for me, but he needed to know that for himself. He needed to know that he needed to show up as being the right person for me with integrity. And I think the only way he was able to come back with that was knowing like, no, I actually can be the right person for her that she needs and she deserves. So I'm sorry, Jay, right? I'm sorry, Jay, that it's in a tough transition period. But I will say that it is possible to love someone as they grow, even from a distance. And all is not lost because life is beautiful and it can surprise you when you least expect it. And whatever should happen, I think that you should just be open to knowing that it happens with purpose every time. Like everything is with purpose always. So just give yourself the opportunity to let life unfold, because it does so. I feel like if you've spoken your truth and you're living in your truth, the rest is just up to the natural flow of life.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
sweet.
that's nice.
So, ladies, I wanted to ask you a quick question. What is the biggest lesson you learned from last year, or what are you taking away from last year and maybe changing this year or just taking with you? Anyone?
My biggest lesson and the thing that I'm taking from 2022 into 2023 is being okay with stillness and slowing down, because I always felt like I had to go from a space of survival. And then I feel like God said, girl, sit down for a second. And I was very uncomfortable, but I had to really practice finding comfort in that space. And now I just want to stay right here at this speed. So really just taking things one day at a time, staying present and being okay with flow, and that I deserve and I've done the work to just be.
I love that. That's dope. What about you, Melly Mel?
I mean, I think there's so many things, and I posted this on my Instagram the other day, where I feel like I'm just not going to worry about about getting all the things that I have to get done and what's for, like, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? I think that it's really important to go in flow, to accept what's for me is for me,
Yeah.
and when it arrives, it will be right on time and it's okay.
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
true.
that, the 2 prior years of being pregnant, and then there was COVID, and, it took a lot of time. So it made me feel like there's a lot of catching up to do. But I just realized that like life is moving at the speed it's supposed to move.
Yeah.
Even though it does feel super fast, that just everything is always in its right timing, and
true.
what's for you is for you.
What about you, Cody, Lynn,
Cody,
Elaine?
Lynn, Elaine.
I'm still trying to transition to 23, because as I've been saying since the beginning of this year, 2023 is really 2022ing for me, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that feeling.
Yeah.
But I would say the thing that I am trying to take into this year is delegating, like getting comfortable taking things off of my plate, and putting them on someone else's,
Yeah.
and being comfortable with however that turns out. So I'm saying it slowly because I'm still processing it. But that's probably the big thing from last year.
I love that for you. I think the last part is probably your biggest hurdle, being comfortable with how they turn out.
Like releasing control
Yeah.
of the outcome.
That's probably why we don't release control, because it's like, nah, that's not what I wanted. I'll just do it myself. You know
feel
what I
like
mean?
we're responsible for the outcome of
Yeah,
everything.
for sure. Or
Yep.
just
That's
be
what happens when your initials is CEO, though.
Exactly.
That's
I
true.
married into this.
Oh, okay.
Ashley, about you?
Oh, you know what? I am releasing and going in the flow as well, but more so in just accepting love. My friend Deanna, shout out to my homegirl Deanna Cannon, I love you. Well, actually, she's married. That's not her last name anymore. But she had this really good talk with me, and she was like, Ashley, you are so anal at times that it doesn't allow you to see the things around you. And she's like if you're really focused on like the outcome of one thing, you don't see like the other things that are happening around you to be happy about. And so she was just telling me like, you're surrounded by so many people that love you and that do show up for you and that want the best for you. And she was just like, don't focus on making relationships or making things be like this perfect way that they have to be. She was like, just sit back and let love come to you. Like, you know, and you will wake up one day and realize. So I think I'm really focusing on not forcing situations, right? And then just letting it be natural and letting things flow and accepting friendships and relationships for what they are and being okay with that.
Girl,
Like, okay,
yeah.
this friendship has this limitation, or this person is always showing up for me. Like, let me invest a little bit more in this one. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes I can beeline certain people in my life. Like, I expect this person to do this, and I want them to show up for me in this way, And other people are doing it, and I'm not appreciating that because I'm focusing on like
How that person is not.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So like, I'm really trying to lean into like the people that are there and the people that I love and growing with friends. I actually reconnected with a friend towards the end of last year, and I'm really happy because we hadn't spoken 2 years. We had a really bad phone. I actually talked about it on this podcast.
Yes, you
And I reached out to her because I was talking to another friend about something she was doing, and I was like, oh my God, I got mad at her for doing, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn. And the whole time I was thinking she was wrong. And I really sat down and was like, I was being hella judgmental. Like, I was not being the friend that I would want. And I reached out to her and was just like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't show up for you the way that I should have. And I wasn't looking at the situation in a healthy way. I was looking at it from a very judgmental way. But like, as a friend, I should just let you experience life and support you.
Yeah.
And like, not be so, you know what I mean?
And loving unconditionally.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter
Because
what it
I
looks
want
like to you.
unconditional love, but I wasn't giving it.
Yeah.
And we had a good ass talk. We're both in therapy. So the conversation definitely was really healthy. And now our relationship is just like better, and we have really good talks, and they're from such a loving way. And I felt so much guilt, like, damn, you know what I mean? Especially when you think you're right and you realize that you weren't. So I'm just really trying to be more introspective and just relax and just let people exist, and I'm just existing. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you need that break from a friendship to like
Yeah.
make it bounce back.
For sure. I'm happy. I'm just moving and grooving, y'all. I'm moving and grooving.
And sorry, to your point, Cody, I wanted to say like that pressure that it's like, oh, it's a new year and I have to have everything ready and it's
girl.
ready. It's like, no, it's like every day you wake up is the start of a new year.
Okay.
So just take the pressure off yourself to be like, January 1st, I need to get all my shit together. It's just not true. It's just not true. Every day is a new day, is a new year to be able to experience that. So to anyone listening who feels that pressure, and you know, it's hard. The new year can be heavy because it's so much weight. Like I even see it in my husband and how he works professionally. Like, you know, his anxiety starts to pick up. It's January 3rd. Okay, it's time to get back. It's like,
Yeah.
let's just
Yeah.
let's just ease into it. So, you know, I think for anyone who needs that reminder.
All right, y'all. Anonymous in Atlanta, Georgia.
Ooh, anonymous.
I want to start off by saying I love each and every one of you ladies. I listen to you every week, and it really helps me navigate motherhood. My question is for Felicia. I watched you on the Nice and Neat podcast and loved how you explained co-parenting mama versus single mama. I consider myself a single mama because I have difficulty co-parenting with my child's father. I take care of my child on my own. He makes comments such as, I only see my son for 2 days every other weekend. Why would I do more? He also has an older child, which he pays child support for, and will tell me to talk to his other child's mother about lowering his child support.
What?
However, if he changed his lifestyle, he could do way more. My child's father is also last minute when it comes to arranging to get his son on the weekends. Majority of the time, he goes the entire week without planning anything and waits until the day of to see what time I'm dropping our son off. If my schedule does not accommodate him, then he goes off and gets very nasty in his text messages. I leave my child's father on red because I choose to protect my peace. How can I co-parent effectively with someone that does not communicate effectively and gives off narcissistic vibes? Or is it not possible?
Friend.
Friend.
Like, I get where you're coming from, and I understand that it can be difficult, but I think boundaries is very important. And if my answer is going to be very simple. I think boundaries are important, and if that person can't respect the boundaries, there is a system in place to where you can go and make this person co-parent, and you can get a mediator, and this person has to follow what it is that whatever agreement you guys come up with, and they can't be playing and doing all that. So it's a very simple answer.
Yeah. I have another thought too. It's me, Ashley, here. I think number one, if for the financial issue, 1,000% what you said. If that's something that's not being reciprocated or you're not meeting halfway, then you have to get extra help. It sucks, but it is what it is sometimes. Mm-hmm. But as far as co-parenting, you know what I was thinking about? I know that it's important for people to have the other parent involved, but sometimes I feel like forcing someone to be in your child's life that doesn't want to be in their life can be more harmful to the children. Mm-hmm. So you really have to evaluate, if you have to force someone to spend time with their children and they don't want to, you might have to eat that. Like, yeah, they could pay child support, but maybe they don't need to be around your children, because what kind of energy are they giving your children when they're with them? Are they making them feel like they don't want to be there? They don't want to be their parent. They're a burden to them, you know? Mm-hmm. And it could just cause more damage to the children. So sometimes I feel like people have to learn to let that go. I know it's easier said than done, but find other people. Find uncles, aunties, and other people that love your children and that you know your children will be safe around. And they will have to get those other relationships elsewhere. And that is just something you have to come to terms with. But I'm not in the school of forcing people to be around children that don't want to be around them. Yeah. Like, that's not, make them pay, but they can stay away.
And I also feel like it's very inappropriate for her to go talk to the other baby mama.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not that's his job, because that's his children. Yep. It's like, no. But again, you can get a mediator through the court that can tell you, this is what time you have to pick them up. This is what time you have to drop them off. These are the days. Oh, you need financial support. Hey, well, you got another kid. I'm like, hold on, you help make this kid.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. But it sounds like sometimes you do have to take things to another level and kind of force people to do stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a system in place for moms to be able to get what they need, whether that's time, communication. They also have this app that goes through the state. I personally don't use it, but I know a lot of friends that use it. So once you get a mediator and you guys come up with this agreement, there's a specific app that you use through whatever state you live in, and you only communicate through that app.
Oh, wow.
So he's held accountable. So if he's
they
tripping on the app,
your conversations.
Yeah. Yep. So if he's tripping on the app, trust and believe the judge will be able to see that. So it sounds like that she need to take things to like another level.
Yeah,
you know? And it sounds like you're being patient, but sometimes it's beyond and bigger than us.
I agree.
Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry. That's it's nothing worse than somebody being difficult while you're just trying to raise kids.
Yeah.
Like that's like the such a heavy feeling, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, there's resources. You got this, girl. Oh, I'm like, I feel like we could just hug every single one of these people.
I know.
Oh man.
You got some more questions, or
that's
we done?
it, guys.
Oh, great.
That's it. That's our welcome back.
Welcome.
We love when you guys ask us questions.
We really do.
We really
Please
do.
send them more. What's the email
Y'all
address?
can DM, you know. You can also
What's the email address?
you can also I'm gonna try to make this smooth and read and talk at the same time. But because we love our Village of Mamas so much, you know what I'm saying? Submit a question via DM at the Mama's Den Podcast on Instagram. But also you can fill out our form in the show notes or send an email to podcasts with an S podcasts@blacklove.com, and we will get your questions in a future episode. Make sure you continue to help us build community by sharing this episode with someone else and take a minute to give us a good review.
Yes, we love a review.
And make sure you're following The Mama's Den Podcast on Instagram.
Shit, I'm about to start submitting some questions.